女士们、先生们，我们温馨提示您，在
Thank you for flying with China Southern Airlines CZ674 from London to Beijing. Our flight time will be 9 hours and 25 minutes. We're expecting some turbulence during our flight, so please fasten your seatbelts while you are seated. Enjoy your flight. Thank you.
Gentlemen, welcome aboard China Southern Airlines.
保证您的安全是我们的首要责任，请您观看安全演示。
Your safety is our priority.
Must be stored in storage space with restrictive devices. 当系好安全带灯亮时，需扣好安全带。远离飞机。Move quickly away from the aircraft after evacuation. 安全须知在您前方座椅的口袋里，请尽早取阅。服务愉快，谢谢。Thank you for your attention and have a pleasant flight.
Thank you.
나왔나?